What is your darkest desire? I want to stare at someone from across the street then disappear when a bus passes. To run away and never look back. To cut all my relationships and start a new life. I don't know. I guess a ring of power would be pretty great. It'd be fun to amass an army with it. I kinda wanna steal a UPS car to open all these boxes they are delivering. Like a big mystery box opening. I don't know why I want to know what it feels like to be stabbed, but I want to know what it feels like to be stabbed. I would like to start out with, I would never actually do this, but I really want a house. But I'm a poor person, so I concocted a plan to murder the people in a house and then show up when it's for sale. I figure a haunted house will be cheaper. If I picked a house that's too nice, I may need to repeat to bring the price down. The realtor will say, there have been a lot of murders here, and I'll just have a secret smile, knowing I'll be safe. To walk out my front door and not stop walking, drop my phone and just frocking go. To be an ageless vampire, really. Become a hermit, witch in a cozy little cabin in the mountain. Or, die in my sleep tonight. To live in a cave on the land of a rich man and be a hermit, occasionally paraded to guests for their amusement. To buy WinRAR. Nothing I can tell without alerting some kind of suicide hotline. Life has been rough. And no, I'm not suicidal. Just really tired of everything. Edit. Thank you all for your kind words. It's good to know you are not alone. Don't worry, I will keep going. I always do somehow. Edit. I really appreciate all of you, and your advices. I am German, so pardon my bad English. I want answer to all of you. But I promise I read every single comment and take it to heart. To be kidnapped by a mafia leader so he can fall in love with me and I'll be the mafia queen. I have this fantasy where everyone in my office kicks in $10 for the Mega Millions. Everyone except my boss, and that is Hole from IT that no one can stand. The next day we hit the jackpot. $500 plus million gets divided up. We all quit. The business closes, my boss loses everything, and IT as whole has to just go look for a new job. I want to dig up bodies like Edgar Allan Poe and Picasso just to see how they look and what they were buried with. Edit. I meant to put Van Gogh, not Picasso. I was just making examples of some people. I'd like to know what it feels like to be hit by a lightning. But I'm also kinda scared if I think about it too much. It will eventually find me because both my grandpa and my mom have gone through it. And survived it. So I kinda don't really want to follow the tradition because I know it very well could happen to me. Does that make sense? Peas. Happened to my grandpa twice. To get away with the perfect crime, a heist of some kind. I think I could do it with enough preparation. So this isn't necessarily dark, but it's definitely odd. I want to open a school for gold diggers. Basically take in women, men who have no ambitions further than marrying rich and teach them everything that the perfect assistant, wife, husband of a rich man, woman, needs to know how to do. Things like household management, handling of appointments, memos, calls, etc. Get them work as assistants, secretaries to practice. And then when they graduate and are like, finally I can go get a husband, wife, I can be like, surprise, you're an extremely qualified executive assistant, now go support yourself. Just trick people who have no ambition, confidence in their skills into becoming highly qualified professionals. To know what everyone around me thinks so I know exactly what to say to them. I want to kill my city customers sometimes, I guess. Edit. I know this is a universal thing LMAO, but my point was my only dark desires are wanting to legitimately kill and torture certain people lol. Remember that scene in Mean Girls where Regina makes copies of the burn book and it results in the whole school fighting? All while watching the chaos she created? I'd love just once to do that and watch the world burn. When I was 5 I assumed it would be to defrost an entire tub of ice cream and then drink it. This is clearly too dark as I've been an adult for way too long, but never actually done it. Edit. So it turns out we're all quite obsessed with drinking melted ice cream. I want to clone myself and make love to it. I wish more cities would embrace dark sky practices so that we could reduce light pollution and more people could appreciate the night sky. To be retired. I just want to not work and be able to enjoy life. Generally when I say this people get angry and act like I'm some sort of villain. Withdrawing all my money, cutting, dyeing my hair, and buying a tiny house in the middle of nowhere along a highway in the super rural US. Work part-time at a liquor store and adopt an old dog. Spend the rest of my time playing video games. Being friendly with everyone but never forming any attachments. Move every few years to facilitate this. To be crushed by female thighs. Live in the woods, learn how to gunsmith, and hunt for a living. The dark part is to ghost everyone I know and never come back. Making it into history books through committing a very publicized crime. The thing that spoils that fantasy is that I don't want to serve any time in prison, let alone life, and the chances that it'd be that way are just too high. Also, I'm still young, can make history in other, more conventional ways. Edit. What the hell? Why is one of my stupidest posts on Reddit my most upvoted one? Grateful anyways. Mine isn't very dark. I have 4 kids. I would simply like to play Just Dance without one of my kids trying to take a Joy-Con or inevitably deciding they need a snack right when I'm leading the dance without having to wait until they are all asleep and I'm too tired. Not much to ask for, but it's like a forbidden pleasure when you have so many kids. Lol. Nice try, Lucifer. If I could do anything, I think I would shrink myself to the size of a mouse. I'd leave the world of men behind me forever, and live amongst the mice. And I would bring technology in and art to those uncultured swine. And I would build tiny tools for their mouse hands made from toothpicks and marshmallows. And I would be their king. Nay, their prince. Gilderoy the Mouse Prince. Ruling from my grand castle inches high, carved from the finest cheeses. And there I would dwell with my 3 mouse wives, and my 12 mouse concubines. Oh, but the wars we'd have with the frogs. Terrible. Just terrible. Those metal mice warriors. The atrocities they've seen. Yes, that is my dream, my secret dream. I've scrolled a bit and didn't see anywhere mentioned, since it's one of the more popular. Dark desires. I actually desire power the most. To have enough money, to not have to submit to anyone, to be able to influence my surroundings and make an impact in etc. Cheeseburger. For everyone in this house to turn off a light switch once in a while. Seriously. So sit in a room completely black. Liked it to the point my eyes are so big and I still can't see anything, and soundproofed so I can't hear anything, and to see how long I can last there. To eat a Kit Kat like it was a slice of toast. No separating the fingers or anything. Just straight through the middle. Taking away my abuser's last peaceful moment on their deathbed by revealing I haven't forgotten what happened to me as a child. They're about to pay for that in the afterlife. Edit. Well, couldn't have anticipated such kindness and support from you lovely internet strangers. Thank you so much. And yes, as some have guessed, they are a family member and I've not worked through the trauma yet. I was 6 when it started and am 31 now, but just started therapy. Have. Frock you. Amount of money. With them, I can make all my dreams come true, and especially darkest desires. Not that I have one besides to buy my own happiness. Eat the last slice of pizza. Serial killer, but for murderers and rapists. For my creepy stalker ex to die. New curtains. I'm sick of waking up every day with the sun in my eyes. Seeing other people's darkest desires. Edit. OMG 1K likes this kinda blew up lol. To get 8 hours of uninterrupted sleep. I would make a deal with the devil for it. To be able to eat all the food I want without getting fat or unhealthy. Yup. That's my darkest and deepest desire. What can I say? I love McDonald's and chocolate. Sometimes I just want to say frock everything and become a crackhead. Life seems harder for them, but also simpler in a way. You have one focus, and that's getting high. Everything else comes second. Just want to absolutely destroy my life and say frock all. My son, and so keep me sane enough for this to just be a desire I lock up deep inside. A dirty gangbang maybe. But fantasies are often more appealing than reality. So who knows? Edit. I would only gangbang people I know. Safety before pleasure. Idris Elba. To know what happens after death. I want to live. 6 with my tay at share. Nice try, FBI. I'm not giving it. The darkest one is the climate change, to frock things just enough to have a nice post-apocalyptic travel season and then help rebuild a nice society for the survivors. I want a Bonnie and Clyde style crime spree with my so. Just modern day version. Obvious I will be a head-to-toe leather-clad gun-toting goddess. Have insane drug-fueled porno-style nasty 6 with him as helicopters circle over the building trying to land to capture us because we just can't help ourselves. But we escape, with the money or the code or whatever we stole. Change identities and do it all over again, never getting caught. Just having wild adventures and living life. IRL. Majority of that just ain't gonna happen, but damn, it's nice to dream. I've dreamed of sucking my own dick. My father always said I would never be anything and constantly berated me for breathing in his direction. I always said if I live longer than him, maybe at the funeral I would expose him in my speech or just not go to the funeral at all. Sounds messed up. And I might delete it later because I don't want people thinking I'm hateful or something. To be kidnapped and used daily and mentally manipulated into enjoying every second of it until the day I die. To be pegged, spit, roasted by 2 dominant, aggressive women. My lightest dark desire is to earn my living from music and never have to work retail again. My darkest dark desire is a threesome. Roses on your piano, and tulips on your organ. Start a fire and watch it spread and grow bigger. I don't know if it's a dark desire, but I'd love to take over the world and set up some kind of automated rules in order to make it a better place. Oh, you are robbing someone? That's 3 weeks in the interdimensional naughty box. Moron. To be Eiffel Towered by 2 guys. Would never do it as I'm in a committed monogamous relationship. I'm usually more dominant and it'd be cool to be in a sorta submissive role. To casually take strong opiates without facing side effects or addiction. I'm not an addict, but I sure would like to live pain-free. I want to sit on everyone who said I wouldn't be anything in life. Sitting in a dark room. I want to be a sexual slave. Like a incel fantasy. Of submissive woman. I know many people will judge it, but it is what float my boat. To live in a cottage in the middle of the woods and grow my own crops. Take part in a threesome with 2 men that I like. Literally get sexualized and worshipped while in the moment. To be someone's sugar baby. Grad school is tough AF and being broke is not a pleasant thing. Just want to take a vacation. It's been 7 years since I took one. Just be wild. Like partying. Doing drugs. Being a prostitute. Have a gangbang and all such stuff. IDKY. But sometimes I think about what it would be like if I just walked outside naked and did my day-to-day routine completely naked. Run away. Leave everyone and everything behind. Fly to Jamaica and smoke weed with the old Rastas for the rest of my life. It's stupid, I know, lol. Sometimes I want to divorce my spouse. Not because I don't love her anymore, but just because I miss not being tied to another person that I have to run all my big decisions past. I know I was miserable alone, but sometimes marriage feels like a cage. I want to be a monk, not because they're cool or anything, but because I really like the thought of letting go of attachments and becoming enlightened. I hate that I'm constantly stressed and anxious, and it would be nice to just, well, I'm not entirely sure what monks' goals are or what they do, but they look like they live life correctly. Do MILFs, like seriously. Baklava. To own a toothpaste that 10 out of 10 dentists approve. Or a hand sanitizer that kill 100% of the bacteria. I'd like to quit aging. I don't need to be immortal. I just want to live my regular lifespan without any more aches or pains than I've already got. Maybe a few less actually. Not really dark. Killing myself. Oof. I like this post, but I can't answer unless a throwaway, which, let's be real, I'm too lazy to make. To have loving marriage and 3 kids with some property to grow vegetables. If I ever get a girlfriend, spend a day together around the house just naked, chilling. No sexual activities. Just being naked for a day. Please don't tell anyone. Go to Vermont, Wyoming, New Mexico, Montana, or Alaska and be a hermit who lives in the middle of nowhere. Older men. I don't want to cater to pedos, but I can't help but find not pedos. Of course. Older men in suits attractive. So of course I am leaving my desire in my mind and just read Wattpad stories. Can't say it's a dark desire. It's a desire to have the strength to stick to a diet and exercise regimen to get physically fit. This isn't a hate myself situation cause of how I look. It's a hate myself for letting it get like this. I want to get dressed up as a girl and fool around with another guy who is dressed up as a girl.